Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Smash Standby here on Do Go On. I'm Tyler,
And I'm Nikki.
and today we have a very special character for you. It is Zero Suit Samus. She was a newcomer in Brawl, and she returned in Smash 4, but she's a little different in Smash 4 because she is a completely separate character from Samus. And just to remind you guys, in Brawl, she transformed from Samus after Samus used the final smash and vice versa. So they were interchangeable, basically the same character. But now she's her own character. She has her own slot on the roster. So it's time to talk about her. Currently, she is place 6 on the tier. So once again, we have an extremely high tier character to talk about. So let's show you why she's such a high tier, Nikki.
Alright, so we're going to start off here talking about her special attacks. And so her default neutral special is her Paralyzer. And basically with this attack, she pulls out her pistol and she fires a blast of energy that can paralyze opponents. And it can be charged for longer stun time and does slightly more damage if you charge it.
Yeah, but you can charge it to extend the range, but the projectile does travel slower, as he said.
Yeah.
Her next custom, or her first custom for a standard attack is Blast Shot. It fires faster than usual, with charged and non-charged versions, traveling about the same distance, but it does less damage. However, it also doesn't stun the opponent on hit, so there are some give-takes from the Blast Shot.
And her second custom is Electromagnetic Net. And
longest name ever.
It really is. This shot has very little range as opposed to the other ones, but it explodes in it's pretty great.
Her side special is Plasma Whip, where she attacks with her energy whip. Hitting with the tip launches an opponent farther, but it can also be used to grab onto edges, which many people actually don't know, but it's a sort of tether recovery, you could say. So,
yeah. Her first custom for side special is Plasma Dash, and instead of using her whip, she performs a dashing pistol whip. But it also, the problem with that one is it cannot grab ledges as the Plasma Whip can.
Yeah, you can still use your grapple, however, like your actual grab move, to grab onto the ledge instead. So It's not really, you don't really lose much from that move.
Yeah.
Her final custom for her side special is the Whiplash, where the end of the whip is the only part that can hit the opponents. On the hit, it knocks opponents toward Zero Suit Samus, but the hitbox on the tip is larger than usual, so you have a more chance of landing your attack.
Yeah. Her default up special is called Boost Kick. It's a jet. She propels herself up with jets in her boots, and it's a good recovery move, and it's also it's pretty strong, so it's a very good KOing move.
Yeah, it's extremely powerful and versatile. It's one of my favorite of her moves.
Me too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Her first custom for Boost Kick is Impact Kick, where she kicks the opponent up into the air before finishing that opponent off with a strong spinning kick. And basically, the kicks are more powerful, but they're only performed twice.
And her second custom is Lateral Kick, and it's pretty much the same as her regular kick, as her default. Yeah. But it covers more horizontal distance than it does vertical.
Yeah, not much to say, but it also knocks opponents away at a lower angle than normal. So just a different direction. Her down special is Flip Jump, which buries an opponent. She basically does a flip jump, as the attack says, but it buries opponent who are grounded, or meteor smashes airborne opponents. Hitting the button again during this attack will have you kick in the direction you started the attack, unless you input the opposite direction. So you can either choose to bury opponents, or you can do a kick from the air. And she has full invincibility on startup and partial invincibility while she's flipping.
Her first custom for flip jump is Shooting Star Flip Kick, another long name.
She has the best custom names.
Yeah, pretty much. This one pretty much does almost nothing, but it's quite a high damage kick if you hit the button again like you can in the air with her original flip jump.
And her final custom is Low Flip, where she quickly jumps into a low flip from which you can then do a quick kick attack. She keeps all invincibility on startup, but doesn't have any during the flip, so you're extremely vulnerable. And jumping during the flip helps you to land faster. So, honestly, this is probably the worst of the three, just because she's not invincible, and that gives up so much of her breathing room. So,
yeah, but at the same time, it can help with other things.
yeah, it helps her recovery immensely.
Yeah, so it like most attacks, it has a lot of potential for other things while losing potential for things that the other customs had.
Exactly.
So now on to her forward tilt. This is one that can be used in either up to the side or down, kind of like Pikachu's was. It's a mid-level roundhouse kick, and when it's angled down at low percentages, it can trip opponents.
And her up tilt is one of my favorite of her moves. She claps her heels together from a handstand position and basically spins around in the air, or on the ground with her feet in the air, hitting opponents around her multiple times, and this launches opponents vertically up.
Her down tilt is a leg sweep. It knocks them away and diagonally at a close range, and it can combo into other moves at low and high percentages too, but it depends on the move that you're going to use. It's very situational.
Her neutral Ariel, she spins a plasma whip around herself, and it hits diagonally below in front of her and then diagonally above behind her. So it's a quick move, quick startup, and you cover all sides of your Samus.
Her forward aerial sends 2 flying kicks at the opponent, with the second one is actually a little bit stronger and a little bit faster than the first one. So it's pretty good to use out of a combo.
Yeah, and this forward air is similar to her side smash, similar animation, but you can also combo it out of down throw. Her back aerial is basically just a reverse back kick. It has good KO potential, but the hitbox is considerably smaller than most of her other moves. So I don't use this move personally a lot, but apparently it's a good move, so you should use it.
Yeah, I don't really use that one either. We don't like to talk about that one. So her up aerial is it's a single-legged bicycle kick. And it's quite good at juggling opponents because it has very fast startup, but it also has a low base knockback, so you can combo into it quite a bit.
And finally, her down air is her infamous stalled and fall attack. It sends her diagonally downward with a fast kick. It can meteor smash, and anyone around her as she hits the ground will also take damage, so it kind of has a shockwave effect as you hit the ground.
But it's also risky to try to actually get that meteor smash off, as we've learned, as I'm sure we've all learned at some point, falling off the edge.
Yeah, it is very tricky, but high risk, high reward, I guess.
Yeah. So that brings us to her stage entrance. She enters the stage by jumping out of her gunship, and she lands with her jet boots, so it's actually pretty cool.
Her forward smash, she does a mid-level side kick of sorts, her side smash, forward smash, and uses her jet boots and advances her forward, and she hits twice, similar to her forward aerial, but obviously a lot more powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, pause it. So, her up smash, she spins in place, extending the plasma whip above her, and it hits multiple times and it has quite a long vertical range and very fast startup.
And finally, her down smash, she fires her Paralyzer at the ground in front of her, and it doesn't do much damage, or I don't even know if it does damage at all. Oh yeah, it does a little bit, 6 to 8%. And it can stun the opponent, so it leaves you open for a side smash, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty good for it's pretty much like her Paralyzer, but it's it does its attacks in front of her rather than a ranged thing.
Yeah. And her home battlefield, Nikki, why don't you tell us about that?
Her home stage on the 3DS version is Brinstar, while on the Wii U version she has two, being Pyrosphere and Norfair.
And she obviously shares these stages as their home battlefield with Samus.
Yeah. And also Ridley, guys.
Ridley's in the game. And now moving on to her final smash, which has been incredibly buffed from Brawl. For those of you guys that don't know, her final smash in Brawl, she sucked in the power suit and became Samus, and anyone in close proximity to her was also sucked in and took damage. But it was probably the worst final smash in Brawl because it didn't have like any range, and it just didn't look cool at all.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
But now she has the gunship, where she jumps into her gunship as it flies by and aims a reticle at the screen, similar to Snake's final smash from Brawl. Rest in peace, Snake.
No, too soon, man.
You can control the reticle with your control stick, and you can use the attack button to fire the double laser beams at any place on the battlefield. And while the lasers are firing, you have any control you want over it. Not any control, but you do have a small bit of control. And each hit scores about 15% damage and knocks the opponent away an incredible amount. And you have up to 5 shots or 15 seconds, whichever one comes first. And then once you're done, Zero Suit Samus returns from the top of the stage.
Yep.
And this final smash, just like Pikachu's, does much better when you're up against multiple opponents.
Exactly.
So, now we get to talk about a good strategy for Zero Suit Samus. So, I personally think Zero Suit Samus is an incredible character. She's far better than Samus. Those of you guys that don't know, Samus is a low tier in this game. She has 2 ways to stun, and stunning is not a very common thing in this game. She can stun with her Paralyzer and with her down smash, and with many of her customs as well. You can set up traps of stunning and use your Plasma Whip to space yourself from others. And she has an amazing grapple, one of the best in the game. Her grab game is incredible. She can combo with almost all of her grabs except forward. Or no, forward has dash attack, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she can combo with every single one of her grabs. But just in general, she makes up for her power suit's absence with her jet boots, her Paralyzer, and increased mobility by over Samus by far. So she's so much better than Samus.
She really is. Samus kind of sucks in this game. You'll hear opinions on that when we get to that episode.
Yeah, and without that suit, she becomes one of the lightest characters in the game. She has some of the best jumps in the game, extremely quick ground speed. Her recovery is good, especially with her grapple. And compared to Samus, though, she doesn't have as strong of a long-range game, but her close-up game is much better because she's fast, just like Pikachu. And you guys will notice a trend with the high tier characters. Almost all of them are extremely fast. And that is basically the archetype of high tier characters in Smash 4.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you have any? What are your opinions on Zeus and Samus? I assume the same as me.
Yeah, pretty much. I find her to be, like you said, a very good character. Otherwise, she wouldn't be high tier. She has, like you said, also very good combo moves, especially with her aerial attacks. Especially like up throw, and then you can go into so many different attacks from there. And she's a really good combo starter, and she's just an all-around really good character.
She has a great edge guarding game. She can use her Paralyzer, Plasma Wisp, and even Flip Jump to edge guard. But from the ground, your best KO bets are Side Smash, Up Smash, and Flip Jump, but into the kick, obviously, because Flip Jump by itself kind of sucks.
Yeah, it really does.
Her up tilt is quick and not punishable at all, and her down tilt puts opponents into the air, which in that case you can follow up with any attack, preferably neutral air. But for Zeus and Samus, her neutral aerial is kind of awkward to land, in my opinion. So when you use it, make sure your opponent is at the right distance from you, so then you won't be punished.
Yeah.
So that is going to do it for this episode of Smash Standby. We actually have something cooking up for next time. It's actually a new series we're working on. We're not going to tell you guys about it just yet, but wait and you will see what it is, and we hope you guys will enjoy it. But Smash Standby will continue. We're aiming to get through all of the characters in the game, and we will. So we've got our first 5 done, and we'll see you guys for the new series and for Smash Standby a few weeks after. Okay, later, guys.
See ya.